Hi there, welcome to the Schwowin's Nest. My name is Sandra and I'm so glad you're here. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to work with Google Drawings to create your own graphics for printing on tissue paper. Let's get started.
So let's talk about printers. Of course, you will need one if you want to print on tissue paper. You can get a laser printer or an inkjet. Here's the difference between the two. A laser printer has a large cartridge which is filled with toner. They're usually pretty expensive, but they last a really long time. They're available in black and color. An inkjet printer has each individual ink color in individual cartridges. Those cartridges do wear out and you'll have to replace them unless you get an EcoTank printer like I have. The one I just purchased is absolutely amazing and I cannot believe the amount of ink that I'm saving just with this. I'll have one linked in my description box if you're interested.
To create our own graphics to print on tissue paper, we're going to be working in Google Drawing, and this is part of the Google Drive system. First, move up to the Insert menu, click on Image, and then Upload from Computer. I'm going to grab something that I've already downloaded. If you're not sure how to download images from free websites, I'll show you that in just a minute. Select the image you want and then click Open. Move your mouse over to one of the corner handles and make the image smaller. If your image is already small enough or too small, you can also make it bigger. Then click the image and drag it to the center of your page. Google Drawings has this checkered background, which means that it is a transparent background. So if we downloaded this right now, we would have no background on our image. Instead of choosing just a solid background for my image, I'd like to find something vintage. Just moving over to Google Chrome, we're going to type in the word Pixabay, and then we're going to be able to select from over 600,000 free images. All you've got to do is select them and download them. Up in the search bar, let's type in vintage paper, and then we can scroll through all of the different images that are available, over 70,000, and decide which one we want to use. I've used this note paper quite often. I've used some of the other papers too, but I'm looking for something specific this time. So I'm going to keep scrolling through until I find exactly what I'm looking for. When you're searching on Pixabay for some different backgrounds, don't worry too much about the color because I'm going to show you how you can change that in Google Drawings. Basically, what you want to look for is the style and the type of design that you want for the background. This is the particular one that I was looking for because it has some florals, it has a big clock, and it's got some text on it. And it's a nice neutral color. So you click on the image and then click download and then download in the little pop-up. Moving back to Google Drawing, we'll now insert our background image the same way we did the first picture. Insert, image, and then upload from computer. Don't worry about trying to find your downloads folder. Your computer will automatically direct you to that folder. You can click on the image and then click Open. The image that I chose happens to be very tiny, so I'm going to move to one of the corners again and drag the image bigger like I dragged my original peony image smaller. I'm also going to move it to the center of my page. Now you're probably wondering, well, where did my original image go? Well, this is a layering program. So whatever you put onto your page first is going to be the bottom. Let's take a look at how we can change that. Click on the Arrange button at the top of your screen and then select Order. Move all the way across and then click Send to Back. And that's going to take our background image and put it as the bottom layer, and our first image is on top. Now that we have our background and we have an image on top of the background, we want to make this a complete graphic by adding some text. In order to do that, we need to insert some word art. So again, we're going to move up to the Insert menu, but this time we're going to scroll all the way down till you see word art. Once you click that, you'll get a little pop-up box. Now you can type in whatever words you want to be the top part of your graphic. I'm going to put in Fresh Flower Market. Then simply press Enter and it will apply itself to the page. To change the color of the text, you're going to move up to the very top toolbar and click on Fill Color. There's a fill color and a border color. We're going to work with the fill color first. Click it and you'll see a little palette of colors come up, and I'm just going to choose black. Click the text and then drag it where you want it to be on your graphic. Don't worry if it's not the right size right now. I want these words to be at the top. Now we'll change the font style by moving up to the top menu again and clicking the little drop down arrow next to the word Arial. Here is where you will find all of the fonts that are available within Google Drive. I really like the Berkshire Swash, so that's the one I'm going to use today. The neat thing about using word art instead of just putting in regular text is you can change the size of it, you can squish it, you can elongate it, you can make it fatter or skinnier, whatever you want. All you need to do is click on the side handles or the corner handles and make any adjustments that you want. And remember, the undo arrow is your friend. So if you make an error or you want to go back to how it was before, you simply click undo. Now let's make a second set of words simply by using the copy and paste method. You'll click on the Fresh Flower Market words, right click, click copy, and then right click again and click paste. You'll see that they've duplicated themselves, and now we can simply just grab it and drag it down where we want it to be. Then all you have to do is double click and the same little text box will pop open. Type in the words that you'd like to see down at the bottom and press enter. I'm going to use seeds, stems, and blooms, and I am adding a couple of spaces in between each word. I'm also going to resize these just the same way I did the Fresh Flower Market. Now I'll show you how you can change the background image to be a different color, or you can make it lighter or darker. Click on the image itself and then click on the three little dots and select Format Options. You're going to go down to the Recolor button. Click that and you're going to see another little button. Click the drop-down arrow and you will find a whole bunch of different color palettes that you can apply to the image. I like mine in the gray color, but I'm going to show you what it looks like in a sepia tone, which is more of a vintage color. To change the color back, you simply click on the drop-down arrow one more time, scroll all the way to the top, and select No Recolor. The other thing you can do is adjust the lightness and the darkness of your image by clicking Adjustments and Opacity. I'm going to make mine just a little bit lighter than what it looks like now. I go to the little slide bar and then change that up or down until I get the color I like. With the text, there's also options to make them have effects on them. So I'll click on the text and go to Drop Shadow. This is one that I like to use. It just gives it a little bit more of a definition or a little bit of darkness around it and makes it look more three-dimensional. Go to the top corner, click and drag your mouse across the entire image so you have selected all of the elements. Right-click in the center of the image and select Group. That will group all of your elements together and allow you to resize them all at the same time. When you are ready to print, go up to the File menu and scroll all the way down to the Print button. Click it and the print window will pop open. Ensure that you have the right printer selected in the destination, and if you want to change it from color to black and white, you can do that. Then click the Print button and watch the magic happen on your printer.
Now that we've covered that, let's prep our paper. So this is the first step. You're going to take a piece of printer paper and then cut just regular gift wrap tissue paper into a size that's about, as you can see here, about a ½ inch or an inch smaller than your printer paper. Tape it all the way across the top, and this is the top part that's going to be going into your printer first. Then you're going to want to do about partway down the sides and a little bit down at the bottom. You can see here that I keep smoothing it out and making sure that I don't have any bubbles in it. Sometimes you can't make it totally flat. That's okay. Next, I'm going to cut out what I want, and I'm choosing the bottom image. I'll save that top one for another project down the road. Using a smaller pair of scissors so I have more control, I'm going to be cutting out all the way around the image, and I usually leave about 1/8 of an inch white space on the tissue paper itself. You don't want to have too much extra. And the other thing you want to remember is make sure you have rounded edges. So even if your image is square, round off those edges because they will just lay so much nicer onto your project. When I'm working with objects that are round, I usually try to use something to brace it at the bottom so it doesn't roll around all over the place. Now I'm just using a couple of these little wood pieces that were left over from a different project, and I'm going to make sure that it's nicely centered. Using matte Mod Podge and a small brush, I'm going to paint the Mod Podge where the label is going to be on my teapot. Now you don't want a ton of Mod Podge on here. You don't want it to be slippery or slick. You just want enough on there that it's going to tack down your tissue paper. I like to pick up my image using my paintbrush. It just helps me to center it on my project. And then once I've got it laid down where I want it to be, I'm going to gently start using my paintbrush and the Mod Podge and start from the center and then just push my way out. The one thing you want to remember always is have Mod Podge on your brush. If your brush is too dry, the tissue paper might tear. Always have a little bit of Mod Podge, and if you missed some spots underneath here like I didn't go far enough at the bottom, just very gently try and pull that up. But once it's stuck down, it's not going to come up unless it tears. Then you're just going to continue working on this like you would regular paper, pushing those bubbles out. The other thing I do is I pounce on it. So I take my paintbrush and I dip it in a little bit of Mod Podge again, and I use a pouncing motion up and down on any wrinkles or any bubbles around the edges, and that just secures that tissue paper down even more.
For more tutorials like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button, the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my videos. And if you liked what I did for you today, then make sure you hit the like button. See you in the next one.